Hello, welcome back to Planting the Geeks. You join us for a video regarding scenery. Here we have a Spanish taverna.
Cool.
Yeah. I got this from a company called Empires at War. Empires at War. I also have this Roman farm. So what I'm going to show you today is this Roman farm being built and how it comes pretty much looking like this. The only thing I've done with this is add a little bit of green on the roof tiles to make it like some moss going on it. But that's it. That's how it came.
Cool.
It does have interior details and another floor in there.
Oh, that's pretty funky, that actually.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. There we go. Just move that out of the way for a second. So I bought it as a test piece just to see what it would be like, and I've actually got another shop over there as well, but for this one we'll show you the Roman farm. So we've got these to play with, infamy, which will be some videos coming up shortly. There we go. So we have the instructions. We have the plastic roof tiles that come cut as well.
Oh, that's really cool, those. I haven't seen these close up. It's the first time I've seen that you put one together. Cause
I built that one on my own.
Yeah.
No, this is a test.
He was sulking.
You were at work. Right.
Hence why he was sulking.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, okay.
So these are the MDF. Most of these are probably going to make up the interior part. Obviously, most likely they're MDF. It has parts that need to come out, but they're not on sprues like you get from Swiss or TT Combat. It's a thin one. It's like Swisher thin. These ones.
That's on a sprue.
That one's on a kind of sprue, and these ones are on a kind of sprue. But these are really coloured. You can see how that's like a dark colour.
Oh, yeah.
So that comes coloured. These ones come in white. That looks like an exterior wall. It is indeed. So you can see that's a lot thicker. It might even be thicker than TT Combat. So there's the. You see the difference. And then the exterior walls, and you see they already come. You can request them to come blank. You don't have. You can get all this blank, but it's only a couple of quid different to get the it ready painted. So it's a big job at the end. And it's a big time saver, really.
Another thing I've noticed, it's easier to get these
little
inserts out.
I think because they take them themselves off. I think they burn them a bit more to make it easier for them. Because some of them you can actually pre-built as well.
Right.
It's just pre-painted. They always wanted to make it easy for themselves. But it's really nice. From that one example I've got, so this is only the second building I've got off them. So there's a shop over there, that's in a bag as well. I might do that in a separate video to this one. It's smaller than this, it looks just like a taverna really. Apart from it's got a slight difference on it. But this is the farm one is a lot larger. Which is what I wanted to show you. Take these off there. Punch these out. So these are coming out a lot easier. Normally I'd have to use a knife. Famous last word as well. There we go. Normally I'd have to use a knife. But yeah. That's coming off. That's coming off. All coming off. I think that might be the base, I'm not sure. We'll find out. And then we have some just out these windows coming off as well. So what we'll do, we'll take everything that needs to come off now it's not part of the building, and then we'll return and start putting it together. So after a long time looking at the instructions, occurs to me this is the front with the two doors. This is the back with the single door.
Okay.
And as far as I can tell from these pictures, that will be this side. So right side, if you're inside, left side if you're outside, and that will be on there. So obviously the painting side have to go to the outside. So that's going to go on there, and that's going to lock into there. And we're going to have a big square basically at the end of this.
Ooh.
So we'll stick these four pieces together, and then basically we should go from this stage to this stage. And then we have the base. So the base is the big bit, isn't it?
That bit, I would say, yeah.
So what it looks like from the picture, is that right?
Looks like you've also got these bits as well, these bits here.
Yeah, these it shows these bits.
At the side there.
Ah.
So...
Right, so these bits are these bits.
This bit here.
Yes.
Yes, right, okay.
So, the base is there, so you put the box together, you stick it onto here. This bit with the two little parts out looks like it's the front, is that right? No, it's not. I'm wrong. Because the front must be this bit that comes out.
I like the... yes.
And that's not straight either, so... I would assume one of these is longer than the other.
Hoping, yes.
Certainly looks that way.
Yeah.
So...
What do you reckon, a window and a door?
One of these is a window. Oh, you say one of these is a door. So that's the door one, isn't it?
Yeah, that looks like the door one with 2 windows in it.
So, window.
And window.
There's a window at the opposite side as well.
Well, it looks like it.
Ah, yeah. So the one with the door wall will go with the 2 windows.
And then that one.
The window wall will go with the door and the blank one.
Yeah.
Sorted. So these will make the outside parts of the house. So I'm just going to use some PVA glue to stick this together. Now the light should go together pretty well. We'll stick it to the base and then we shall return. Back with it already addendum. What I failed to recognise was that those 2 clips were for this bit, so I had to hurriedly stick this on because I'd already put this on and everything. I was wondering why it didn't fit properly. But what we have is this small sliver with 2 little jigsaw pieces. You saw the 2 cutouts on the first bit. This bit has got 3 holes in, which are the 3 holes which go at the front, which you could just see on that. I just thought it was like a weird printing error, but it's not, it's for that. So that now fits on perfectly with this overlap at the front. The jigsaw bits are underneath the building, so they should glue on no problem. And we'll go ahead and put the sides on. So the next addendum, because you know we're full of addendums today, is we have our side bit ready to go on, but what we neglected to see was the fact we have these flat pieces. There's 2 different sizes. This is the large of the 2, and we have these 4 little cutouts. And it was only when I noticed that there was actually cutouts on the corners there, if you can see that on the camera, as to what the heck is that for. Well, it's for these. So this makes up the rest of that block piece. It doesn't just stick straight onto the outside. So you should have a piece like that when you're done. And then you've also got the smaller bit there, which does the same.
Is that so you can lift those off if you wanted to? I wonder.
I don't think so. Sure, because you have to glue this down. I did wonder for a second. Gotta be honest, I'd say not, because I would have expected these bits to be separate as well then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was just thinking because there was...
And then you could like put them up flat.
Yeah.
No.
No?
I'm going to glue it on.
Okay.
It's probably going to be a mistake. It's not the first one I've made so far, so...
No, I'm just thinking because some buildings that we've had, was it a church or something that we got?
Yes, it was the TT Combat big church. It had the signs which you could clip off. The bases were part of that as well. So
yeah, you're right, yeah.
Because this is going to be unsupported otherwise. Maybe it's just for extra support. I don't know. But then again, those walls are pink. But then they're going to just spray those as they are. I'm talking myself out of this now. I'll be back when I've decided which way we're going. Okay, so we've got this together. I've glued these on. I can only imagine that these bits are separate at the side. It would be quite useful, for instance, if it's not the painted version. You're having to paint it yourself, and you could do it in sections, because it's going to be quite a heavy building. There's quite thick wood. So painting this afterwards would be a bit more difficult. So I can only imagine that that is the issue. Right, so before we go on, what I'm going to do is probably something we should have done right from the beginning, but you know, I've done everything else wrong. So, is actually put the window frames on, etc. So what we have is all these little cardboard pieces. So we have all these little square frames. So they're all going to go on. I'm going to line them up. I think there's door frames, is there, as well?
There is, yeah.
And there's also parts that need to be stuck onto the doors.
There is.
There's the brown.
They're like brown.
You got the brown
doors.
You got these brown parts as well, and they again just, I think that's the right one. That just goes over the top to make like a 3D door, if you will. Looks quite good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to stick on all these little bits that need to go on. Plus that gives this bit a good time to settle before we start pushing things in place, because the next phase is to put these front bars on. So I'll go ahead and I'll put all the cardboard pieces on now. Okay, so we've attached all of the cardboard pieces. You can see there the doors. These are going to go on next. Of note, there is different sized
window
have we put
frames.
them all on?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Because there's two here. They don't have any on.
It's okay.
I just noticed that.
No, they've all gone on.
That's fine, because we've got 3 at the front. Those are the 3 bigger ones. We've got 2 white door frames there. They go there. There is a brown coloured door frame, which is slightly smaller than the others, but there's a slightly smaller door. That one goes on this annex here, according to the pictures, and it fits on, so I would assume that. Spin around here, there's another door frame there, a small window, a large window, a small window, and then we have 5 large windows at the back with the door frame. And at the side, as I pointed out, there's actually 2 there, but there appear to be frames for those.
No, and it doesn't show on the instructions.
But because there's 2 left on this side, I assume that's right. Because if we did it, there'd be 1 there and none there. That's kind of, I think it's worked out right.
I would say so. It doesn't look like on the pictures.
Can you see any frames on the pictures?
No, I can't see any frames on the pictures,
No.
and those were all the ones. Those were the only frames that I cut off.
Yeah, there's no actual pictures from that angle.
Yeah.
But you can see, you won't be able to see on the camera. But take my word for it, there's definitely a frame on there. So that just leaves these 2, but they may not have frames for some reason. The little taverna thing, if you have a look, you can see there's different frames. That one doesn't have any like window frames. Whereas all those have got like little windows on the side. So it might just be a different style of window, I would think.
Possible.
Might email them and find out. But for now, here we are. So the next thing to do is stick these doors in place. Literally, we're just going to... there's not going to be a lower interior really to worry about, I don't think. I think there is some interior detail. But closing and opening doors isn't going to be a thing on this one. There's no hinges. And because these doors have now been thickened by having these cardboard things on, I won't be able to put the brass hinges on that I normally put on like the TT Combat stuff, because it just wouldn't open. It's because these are going to be pretty well wedged in. There'd be no give to actually be able to open the doors. So these are going to get pushed in there, he says. I'll do it off camera, but yeah, so they're going to go in there, get glued in, and the small door goes on this side. What I haven't figured out is what these 2 small ones are for yet, because we've got that one there. Is it like a double door? Is that what they are?
Let's have a look.
Yeah. One of these, I would have thought, it's definitely not that one. I don't think it would be those 2, because it might be this one. Might be like a double door. That might make sense. Because this one's like a little annexy bit.
Okay.
So I said that we've got 3 doorways in the midsection, so we'll use the 3 of the same for that. We'll attempt to put that in there, and I'll put the other door on, and we'll see if that works. Also, before I return, what I will do is we have these spaces that I said at the front, and these spaces here. These are for these struts that should fit in there and fit in there. This is like for putting the roof on at the front. So we'll get these glued into place so that they're set as well. We shall return momentarily. So we've glued on the doors, so you can see that, and we've got these struts on as well. I did go with the double doors on this side, they fit fine, so I'm assuming that's correct. Next we have these, which are the roof stops, and these are the roofs for the annexes. That I believe just goes in there. And we have another one there that goes in there, so those will need to be glued in place. And then we can start on the main piece of the roof, which is these big triangles that we have. So,
not those. Is it?
Yeah, because these two parts go together.
Right,
so they need to be glued, so that they make a, wait for it, oh god, that went through me. Actually, they don't need to be glued. Look, oh, well, they will need to be glued because they can go further than they should. But yeah, make a cross section. And then we have the four pieces of roof.
They slot on to those bits.
We've got two different styles. We've got, the clip there, aren't we?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure which goes on which. Probably the other way then. It looks like, because we've got two slightly different sections here,
right.
I'm guessing, and I'll let you know if I've guessed is correct, that will go on that side.
And that goes on that side.
And that goes on that side.
And then those two go on the other side.
Those two go on the other side.
Do you want me to have a look while we're off camera and see what I can find?
So I'm going to go ahead and start gluing these together. We'll come back when we've got the roof sections ready for the next phase. Okay guys, we are back. We've put the roof together like that. So as I thought, the flat sides go with flat pieces on top, which leaves these big gaps. I'll show you what we do with that in a second. And we have the annex roofs like that, so it's stuck in, so there's a bit of a lip hanging over. Now, on the instructions, what we're going to do is we're going to put some masking tape, if you can see that on there. So on this one, we're going to put some masking tape over these gaps that form here. This is a standard roll of masking tape I've had for ages. And I'm just going to cut these to length with some scissors. Claire is going to find me. Always prepared. So we're going to cut these to length. I'm going to put a piece down there, and a little bit in the middle as well. So, thank you. And it's a bit gnarly. So you can see all I've done there is we've stuck that on that. I'll cut that bit off there and make sure it stays on. Cover those ends. What I'll probably do is cut it up and tidy it up so it's in a straight line as well. So I'm just going to repeat that process for the whole roof, and we should be back in a moment. Okay, so we have the mask tape on. I actually didn't need to put a separate bit on the middle part because these bits all, because they're slightly off centre, covered that over anyway. Right, so the next thing we have are these little dowling pieces. So there are 4 of these, there's only 3 in my hand, I know, it's because I didn't pick them up. There we go, 4 of them, and then we have one small little piece of dowling there. And they're going to get stuck on there, and then a little bit's going to get stuck in the middle, wee, like that. So they're going to be one on every side, one on every piece is masking tape, and then that. And then we have these bits. So what we want to do is line these up while we're doing that as well to make sure they all fit together at the end. And we have the plastic pieces of the roof. These are going to be glued on, matching the spiky and non-spiky ended ones. Like that. And obviously you have a gap in the middle, and that's what these are for, the cap pieces, if you will. Does it say on what they're called? I think it did. Ridge tiles is a technical term.
Not Tudering.
Not Tudoring, no, this is too early for Tudoring, these are ridge tiles.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to stick those on, and we may as well stick these on at the same time because we're just showing you them anyway. So I'll be back if there's any issues, otherwise we'll come back with a completed stuck together roof. Okay, so we have a finished roof. There we go, it's all glued down with PVA at the moment. I'm going to let that dry. What's probably going to happen is these corners are going to come up. I don't know if you can see that on there, how it's already coming away. Once the PVA is dried, what I'll do is I'll go over them with some super glue and just make sure they stay down. But for positioning everything, I recommend you use PVA before using any kind of super glue, just to make sure you get everything in the right place. And what I did, I put these two parts on first with the flat side. I put a little bit of doweling in the middle to line those two up. And then I put those two sides on and the 4 pieces of doweling on afterwards. There are some little gaps at the end, and I will also run around the edge with a little bit of a knife and cut these little bits of masking tape that are sticking out. There may still be some bits showing at the end, but once all this is dried, I've tidied it up. If there is anything showing, there's like glue drops on there. If there is anything showing, what I'll do, because I'll probably want some like weathering on this a little bit, just to. I know it's pre-painted and everything, but the plastic isn't. And I might do what I did with the other one, which is to run some Agrax or Athenian camel shade, which is either a brown or a browny green sort of stain down there, just to give it a bit of staining. And then maybe even finish that off with a little bit of dry brushing, probably in something like a bone colour. But yeah, so that is the roof. I need to now stop fiddling with that and get it and put it down so it dries. That's going to take probably overnight. There's a lot of glue on there to keep these bits of plastic on. So let's do that, and let's move on to the next part of this model, which is we've done the doors on there. Right, so we also have the other parts of the roof, which we haven't addressed yet. So we have these two bits. Is that a bigger one? Mm-hmm. So the lip, that's now dried. So if you see how that works, that's going to go in there like that. And what the lip does, it stops it from falling off. Quite good actually. That's done. It's pretty simple. And then you take the roof off and have people inside or whatever you want to do. But we do need to stick. Again, that's just going to be glued on using PVA with that on there, and then again with the smaller one there. And then there is one more piece to go on the front. And we have this little bit here. Does that go on there? It does indeed. So that gets stuck onto there. And we have one little piece of plastic that goes onto that as well. So that needs to go on. So I'm going to do all that. In addition, before I disappear, there are these 4 pieces of wood which look like cut-offs. They're not, and the reason I didn't throw them away by accident, which I may well have done, is because the other building had them as well. What we're going to do with these is we're going to stick these inside the big part of the building. It was one goes at each corner. I'm going to glue that in there like that, and I'll become apparent why when I come back. Shall see you in a moment. Okay, so we're back, and we have the roof sections on, as you can see, on the front and on that side. So the last piece, isn't it? There's nothing else. Are these two here? These two pieces, they go together like that. I think I've already put these together. There we go. So you have this big piece there and this piece there. So you can see go together quite easily. But I'm still going to put some glue on for strength. And that is your internal flooring. So it'll be used if you are using like the internal part of the building for anything. So it's a nice little addition. If you're not using the internal part of the building, you may never even see this. But it's always an option that you've got. So that will go in there like that. As you can see, it sits on top of those 4 pegs that we put in previously, which is what they're for, to simply support the second floor. And then we have the roof, which, as I said, it is not set yet. So when it is set, it will just fit on top of there. it's got a little bit that it attaches to. Yeah. I don't want to push it too much on, but yeah, it'll go on like that. So there we go. There is the farmhouse. Bring the camera down a little bit and adjust it so you can see it from the front. That's what it looks like. So this again, like I said at the beginning, is from Empires at War. Comes like this, painted. So I'll probably do something with this bit to weather it, and I'll probably do something with the roofs to weather it. Other than that, I ain't doing anything else with it. It is done, which is good because it's painting the building is always a big thing. So that's quite cool actually. I quite like that. And I do like this plastic roof tiles that we've been given. Just line that up a bit more. Now I can see it from this angle. Here's a lower out. And that's the beauty of using the PVA. That you do have some play time. Just if things don't line up once you've got it together, just to check it. But there we go. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Hope you guys like this. If you do, head on over to Empires at War. Have a look at their range of buildings. I said they mainly do like Roman era stuff, which is good, and they've got some like World War II style buildings. They're good as well. Some for like Normandy and such like. They look good. There we go. So I'm quite pleased with that actually. To be fair.
It looks really cool.
That will work quite well in Infamy when we play the Romans as defenders.
Yes, definitely.
You can either go into the city section, because we can use like the stuff we've got for Gangs of Rome.
Yes.
You can either go into the city section with that, or it can be out in the fields because it's a farm on its own, and it could be either side then really.
It can, yeah.
There we go, we've got a nice big habitation for that.
Cool.
Really quite like that.
It's awesome. It's really nice. I like it.
Cool.
Very thematic.
It is. It's nice and big. It's much bigger than I thought it was going to be actually, compared to the smaller taverna type thing. But let's bring that in as well. You see there, that's a lot smaller compared to that. So where is it? We do also have like a shop, which is basically a replica of this, just with a longer balcony. So that and that is almost like a complex on its own if you look at it. That would work quite well. It's like a street without the end.
Yeah.
So I think that's quite good. I like that. So there we go. So please like and subscribe. Helps out loads, and we know that you love us. And if you do put likes on there, obviously it brings our videos further up for more people to watch. So it helps out great if you do put a like on. And if you do like the channel, please subscribe. And we know we've not been on a lot recently, but I'm hoping to do a lot more videos. I've in the background been using my spare time to model and paint. So I'm hoping to play some Infamy.
Yeah, I'm frantically painting rounds.
I'm also hoping to play some Sharps Practice as well. Because I've been branching out into the games, and I quite like these two. So hopefully we'll get some videos of those done. Because we've done quite a lot for it in the background. So join us for that when it comes on, and anything else we do.
Yes.
Yes.
I can't think of anything at the moment off the top of my head.
No.
It's mainly Infamy that we're getting ready
You're
for.
You're painting your Romans. I've done my Celts. I thought my entire British, ancient British army is painted and ready to fight the Romans.
I'm still mustering them.
For Britain. They've got an entire barrel of tea at the ready.
Good.
Because obviously the ancient Britons drank tea. We've always drunk tea. It's always been a thing that we've done. It was most likely Yorkshire tea. But even before Yorkshire existed.
Well, that's bad because it should be Lancashire that you're having, not Yorkshire.
Well, technically, I'm going to get technical now. The Brigantes, where Yorkshire is, also covered Lancashire.
Oh well,
so
we can just have
Briganti tea, which is Yorkshire tea. Let's have that one.
I'll tell you what the Romans are going to do with your tea. Chuck it in the river.
No, the Romans are not Americans. The Romans. We'll wait for that before we do the War of Independence in Sharps Practice. So thanks for watching and listening to this madness. Please join us again, and you guys take care for now.
See you soon.
See you soon, I hope. Bye.
Bye.